and then yeah, this is gonna be fun. They're always fun. Wait, are we live now? See, it
You're
never
live.
tells me. It never. Oh, hey guys, we're live. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic Podcast. I have one of my favorite guests back with me today. We do shows every 2 weeks. Me and Pink Bella. She's become a really good friend. And if you guys don't know her, like I said, she's on my show all the time. She has her own channel as well. We should be streaming on her channel as well. And she's a certified quantum light body practitioner, a certified USUI Reiki master, teacher and practitioner, certified crystal and 12 chakra instructor and practitioner, life and personal empowerment coach. She has Pink Bell Aloha therapy. She's an ascension multidimensional guide and wayshower, 12 chakra energy readings and energy balance quantum healing, higher self liaison. She deals with twin flames and divine unions, star seeds, soul missions and abundance, Akashic records readings, quantum healing and clearing, VIP mentorship or coaching packages, and empowerment and intuitive coach. And she also does pet communication and distant healing. And one thing also that she does that we're going to be getting into today is she does the removal of alien implants and JSEALS and tags and stuff like that, which is it's becoming a big thing. I'm getting a lot of people messaging me about that. So I'm glad we're going to cover it today. So with all that said, I'd like to give her a big warm welcome to the show. Pink Bella, thank you for coming back on. How are you?
I'm great. Aloha, everyone. So grateful to be here. Super excited about today's show. I feel like it's going to be super awesome. How are you doing, Rob?
I'm doing good. I was showing everybody. I don't know if people will be able to see this, but I got a new hoodie. I got this because I have to do a speech on Saturday. So this has the UFO with the alien in it, and then Bigfoot's at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm excited about it. So I figured I would wear it today. I mean, I would have just ordered one of my hoodies, but what happens is my hoodies take longer to get here, and I needed something that I could wear like Saturday, like because I wanted something like right away, and I know Amazon delivers like pretty fast, so I
That's
figured
how.
I was like I just ordered that way. But I'm gonna
That's how.
get one of my own hoodies too. Like
Yeah,
for
you
you guys
should.
that don't know, like my merch, like it doesn't ship out from here; it ships out from Teespring. It's all done by a third party, so I don't have any of my merch. Like they handle it all, But sorry, but yeah,
Oh, no. That's how I ended up with this. I needed something really quickly for my wall, and I got it off of Amazon as well. So we go. They have their positive, aspects.
Yeah. Thank you, Bryson, for posting in the Discord and Telegram. That's
Sure thing.
amazing. So that'll get us some people in here. And I see we have some people from Pink Bella's channel. Thank you. Welcome. I'm glad you guys were able to make it. We do these shows every 2 weeks. I think we only have one scheduled for December, but we'll probably be into the new year as well. We'll have some shows for you guys too. We're going to be getting into some interesting stuff today. Where did you want to start? Did you want to start off with the questions, or do you want to save those for last?
I was going to say I did a little mini collective reading. Why don't we do that? And then I wanted to just cover the astrology a little bit, like with the 1212 gateway, and then we can kind of dive into the deep stuff.
Yeah, because the one of the questions, I'll just read this now. I'll just read this, and we can keep it in the back of our minds. This was from Flixlove. It's about the well, I'll hold it. I'll save it for later. Sorry, it's about the implants and the
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I'll wait for that until we get into that.
Well, you
Yeah.
know what I want to share just about the implants, how everybody is aware of this now. Like a year ago, it just was like a small group of individuals, but everybody's becoming aware that we've been tampered with. And that's why I wanted to talk about the implants versus the beacons and the grids and all that. Okay. But yeah, I did a mini reading for all of us just until this will be messages for us from now until our next show. I just wanted some idea of any information that we all needed. So you're all not going to believe this. Sorry, I mixed up the cards. The first card that came in was the Anunnaki. I can't make this up. I only have one card. so card is actually, it has a very positive message. It just says we're receiving new information and we're ending a cycle. So that's fantastic. But they're part of the whole team that tampered with our DNA and our ancestral DNA. And they're also all of them. They're all still connected to the AI, and they're all still here playing the game. Like the game's still ongoing, and we're physically in the game, which is the Matrix, and we're moving through every single gateway to try and elevate and remove ourselves from their influence. So that was the message around that. So we're just to be alert, stay alert, Like stay on our toes that the game is still ongoing. Then we have the heart of source, which is, this is actually one of the key messages to a reminder throughout the day to move into our heart, especially if we're triggered, because that raises our frequency and it allows us to change timelines and realities. So we're not bothered. So, it sometimes what happens is we have something happen that shakes us up. So the best piece of advice so we can reconnect into our heart is change your reality, change your location, go somewhere where you can be quiet, have a cup of tea, like do something that will shift your reality and get you back into the now moment in your heart. And that will shift your frequency and will change events for you. But this is all about us making sure that we connect with our heart. This is such a key for us to keep going and to complete our missions successfully. Okay. And then just a reminder that we have some gateways coming out. This is called the Stellar Gateway Activation. So the next main one is the 1212 Gateway on the 12th of December. They are infinite potential and manifestation vortexes. And I can just lead. We can move into the 1212 Gateway.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's that mean? Does that mean that it's better for manifesting, or it will be better?
It is. And the thing is that a bunch of us have known about this probably since 2011, around the 1111 Gateway. We started to get those key codes. So some of you might start seeing 1212. You might start seeing those activations. So that might mean it might be a very important gateway. The gateways have always been when the stargates align on our planet with the stargates in the universe and the galaxy, because that's where we're at right now. And the thing is that it's giving us an opportunity to activate new levels of our DNA and to level up in the game, to move into the next level of our superpowers and our abilities. However, the other team is very aware of this now. They're very aware of how awake we all are, that we're moving as quite a big tribe now. That's why they came in. So it was really interesting because this came in a session yesterday. Make sure you put some kind of shielding around you or clear your energy before you set your intentions and your manifestations. Because if you're doing it from a high frequency, there won't be any interference. If you're in a low frequency and you're trying to manifest, they can interfere. They can come in and kind of like, take it away from you, kind of thing.
I got a question. Does a full moon come along with the 1212 Gateway? Like, will there be like a full moon during that time?
No, we just had a full moon on Monday. And that's the last full moon before the solstice. The solstice is on the 21st, around the 21st of December. So we'll have a full moon after that. So no, we're finished with the full moon energy. There will be a new moon, but I believe the new moon is around the 1212 Gateway.
I got interesting news to report. This happened again. I think we talked about this last time. Like right before the full moon, I was like successful at manifesting. Then when the full moon comes, it's hard for me to manifest anything. But it seems like if I hit that sweet spot right before the full moon, I can kind of bring things into this reality. I don't know what it is. It's like people should mark their calendars and like really try to manifest things like right before the full moon, because it happened for me, and it happens like. I don't know what it is, I don't know what's up with that.
When I was given this last time, I was actually told by my team, there's going to be interference through this full moon. So manifest before the full moon and then just kind of like coast through the full moon for like 24 hours, depending. And what's weird is this full moon was in Gemini, which is my sun sign. And I had the least physical effects from it. Like I usually get, the physical effects. So what I noticed, that I'm accepting that now, it's like the moon energy is not, especially the full moon, it's not a good time to manifest. It's a good time for releasing and letting go. So you should manifest before, like set intentions, prayers before, then coast through the full moon. And then a day or two afterwards, you can get back to it. And I guess the other thing is that we have to release and surrender to the universe and trust and have faith that our manifestations are on their way, and that we don't need to, we don't always need to be 24/7 working on that. Yeah, I think it's more like just stay positive through the full moon. I agree, Rob. You're right on target. You're with noticing, because I was just given you're going to have interference through the full moon, so just like surrender and don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what else can we expect with the 1212 Gateway? Is it like a special time, would you say? Or
I find the gateways in December very magical. Like I find as we're approaching the solstice around the 21st, I find like what the message I got this morning was we're receiving from now through December very high frequency source codes of divine love. So if we can receive that, keep in joy. It's going to be a magical month. And I think with the reason the reading came in is just a reminder that we're still in the matrix, that things can still trigger us, because this is another time of year too where it's all about, this pressure about the holidays, like being maybe with family who don't understand us, maybe being in a company where there's a lot of holiday parties, which I've all been through. I think we all have. So it's finding that balance of, if you're feeling depleted and you're feeling drained, rest and go do something that will bring yourself joy, because we're supposed to receive this joy frequency right now, and then also replenish. Make sure we're replenishing ourselves physically, and also like that replenishes our chakras and our light body as well. So I find the gateways in December very magical, but we're to be on high alert that there might be some things out there in 3D, some events or something that happen that might trigger some people. And just a reminder that it's part of the movie.
Yeah, it's part of the game here that we signed up to play. Almost like that's what it seems like,
Yeah, it is. It's quite the game, isn't it?
It is. It is. It really is. It's a strange world for sure. And then one thing you mentioned that I think is really important is people are definitely going to experience that holiday pressure, especially those of us, like you said, that they don't understand. Some of our family don't understand what it is we do or the things that we're into. Like they don't understand that we're not really into the holidays. So you kind of have to play the holidays thing with your family. It can get annoying, but at the same time, it's just like, I just do it because then it makes my mom happy or my aunt or my cousins or something.
I'll tell you what, I'll tell you a little trick that I started to do a few years ago that helped me. I started to imagine that I put on different baseball caps for different things, because it's all part of our mission. So if I got invited to a family event, I would put my family hat on and just go and be part of the family, knowing that even our frequency there is raising the vibration. We don't have to get into talking about what we do. It's actually, we can just kind of put that on the back burner and just be in the now moment. And it is an assignment. When we get called to go spend time with family, it's an assignment, because we're there to raise the vibration. And what I've learned over the last 4 years is it's better to just be in joy and be in a high frequency and laugh and be okay about that, because you're also giving yourself a break as well. Like everything that we're doing right now is it's serious, it can get quite overwhelming. And then, so go be in joy, have fun. And then know that when you come back home, you're going to take off that hat and you're going to put back on your soul mission hat to do what you need to do. And we can't compartmentalize right now. It's okay. And the other thing I also came up with was, if any family member wanted to come and talk to me about anything that I did, I allow them to do that naturally now, instead of trying to say, hey, by the way, we're in a matrix, by the way, we're in the matrix. So yeah, so people are waking up in their own ways. Like I have individuals who live all the way across the country in our capital that absolutely know what's going on there, even though they might not understand how it's all connected. So people are waking up in their own ways. A lot of people are waking up for their health. They've got health issues. So that's moving them into finding alternatives, because they can't get the right answers from the regular folks. I feel like the narratives are waning, but it's taking its time in certain areas for sure.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I feel okay. So I'm in Canada. The agenda in Canada is still the same as it was in 2020, which can be mind-blowing to me, but I'm seeing less and less people out in public with mouth covers on. So that to me is a positive sign. That means that even if stuff's being shared in the media, a lot of people aren't doing that anymore. So that's very positive.
People aren't buying into the narrative. People aren't buying into the official narrative, which is great. That's I think the pandemic kind of woke a lot of people up. It
totally did. It totally did. There was a viewer question. I didn't send it to you, but there was a viewer question on my Telegram just asking, why was that allowed? Why was that agenda allowed to remove joy out of our reality? It woke so many people up. I feel like it woke up so many starseeds and light workers to start leveling up and figure things out. And guess what? I actually started diving down the conspiracy rabbit holes through that time period, and I didn't want to look at them before. So there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, so it's all good. Yeah, I think everything has been, it seems like it's been super slow, but look, one more month we're going to be in 2024, and
I
we've all
know it went too fast almost. That's what makes me think that like we're in some kind of like Art Bell talked about the quickening, and he said it had to do something with our like the way the world was speeding up, like the way we were advancing with technology. It's kind of fascinating, but at the same time it's a little scary that like things are moving so fast, you know? It's like
we're
it's hard to it's
We're to
hard to
be on alert about the AI stuff, like not to just take it for granted or use that instead of our minds and our hearts. We're to be very aware of it. I have to just share a little real positive story. I went and did a grid assignment in Vancouver after our show. I hadn't been in the city for like 2 months, and I want to share with you all. I kept asking, so show me the false being, show me the backdrop people, show me the NPR people. I got nothing all day, Rob. So what that showed me is that some of the old timelines are collapsing. All I met was humans all day, and I was in the city for like 3 hours doing good work. So that I came away going, this is good. I'm starting to see positive results from a lot of the work that we're all doing. And so those timelines may still exist for some people, but for those of us in high vibration, we're not able to visibly see them at the moment. It doesn't mean that there aren't pockets all around the planet, like in the big cities, but I just wanted to give you all that feedback. That was a good.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I think like maybe for some people like that are out there like trying to do the grid work and stuff, like it can maybe be daunting a little bit at times because you feel like was my efforts paying off? But I would say like you were just an example of it that the efforts are paying off. It just takes
Yeah.
time for things to change. I think is that
Yeah, and
correct?
it was a great surprise for me to see how peaceful the energy was. It felt like the city had gone back like maybe 8 years or something. All I saw, like, I just saw regular people all day, nothing out of the ordinary. So
That's awesome.
yeah, that was good.
But that brings us into our next topic, which was e-plea, ET implants, and tags. Did you want to get into that a little bit?
Yeah, I just wanted to say like I looked up a definition. There's a whole bunch of information on my website. I also have a couple of like informational videos that I did last year and this year. But as an example, the JSEALS and the implants are something, they're not natural. They were created by the dark ones, the dark ETs, a long time ago. There was a big plan going on. Like they knew that there was going to be this time frame that we're in where all the stargates were going to align and we're going to start receiving these high vibrational codes for ourselves and for humanity to awaken. So they created these implants and these tags to make our DNA dormant, that it wouldn't be able to come online. And it's connected to our ancestral lineage. So we incarnate into these avatars. Receive a blueprint. We receive a blueprint from our ancestors. And so this has been going on for a long time, but I feel like what's happening is the light codes are bringing everything to the surface right now, where maybe you've got some health issues. It really does relate to like health issues, or you feel like your superpowers aren't coming online, or you're not evolving. Okay, so I just wanted to read a little. Um, I'll just talk about what the J seals are. They're actually called the Jehovian seals, and sometimes they're called the death seals. They're there to ensure that our body deteriorates and doesn't evolve. Most times they're on the left-hand side, but they also can be on the right-hand side. It just depends. And many people report physical problems in those areas, and that there's no, like, you can't evolve. So the seals what's happened is as we've been elevating, they were created like as triggers to activate. Probably they started to show up for people around 2011 and 2012 when the light codes started to get strong, and it's just to prevent us from evolving. So that might just resonate with a bunch of souls out there. Once they're released, your original divine blueprint will be restored. You'll have access to your DNA being activated, better connection to your higher self. That's just a few of the samples, that I want to talk about. But it made a difference for me because I was always having pain on my left-hand side, especially around my neck, my throat area. I was still receiving information, but I always felt like I had a clamp. And the other thing with the implants and the seals is they're able to track us. So that's also why I was sharing about making sure you're kind of shielded and protected before you say your manifestations, because I would say things like, oh, I'm going to go to this coffee shop and do this. And sure enough, some kind of scenario would be set up when I got there to trigger me. And I started to notice the pattern. So then I realized I was being tracked. So it was all kind of interconnected. So the seals and the implants and the tags are to track us, to interfere with us. So we can't ever stay in our hearts and in a high vibration. So that was just what I wanted to share.
Does AI have anything to do with like the seals and tags? Like, do they use AI to implant that in people, or like is that like?
I feel like there are new versions of the seals and the tags that are AI related. And don't forget, like they're at the back end sending all the commands. So they're kind of at the back end sending the commands to the dark ETs to send that to our matrix, because this matrix game, if it's a reminder, has been going on for thousands of years since everything fell. But we all came in as these beacons of light to be the glitch in the matrix, which is so freaking cool. I love that. So, we can see the glitches. We're to be the glitch and we're to go, yeah, I'm not doing that, So I've dissolved a little bit of AI stuff with myself. That might become more prevalent as we go along. Like the more souls that are unknowingly integrating themselves, like people out there are allowing themselves to get these chips installed, so that's AI connected, that's being controlled. The potion also allowed access for the AI network as well.
Yeah.
So, there's that aspect. So we're to be aware of that. And we might come across glitches. We might come across individuals, like, even though I just said Vancouver was okay, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to run into something somewhere else, so we have
Yeah.
to be alert and be prepared for the craziness. But yeah, I do feel that. Now the beacons, this is interesting. So our positive, benevolent galactic families have placed beacons within us. So there's nothing wrong with those. Those are for our galactic families to be able to stay in contact with us. And if they need us to come to a meeting when we're sleeping and all that kind of thing, that's the difference. So there are sort of benevolent beacons that are different.
Yeah, I wanted to read this comment. This was from Maria. I think she's from your channel. She says, been through massive DNA activation this last week. Also had big disclosure relating to parasites and heavy metals. All STARSEEDS and 144 have to claim their sovereignty by detoxing. Peace.
Yes,
I was using zeolite to detox from heavy metals, and then I was using the it's like black walnut and I can't remember. It was like black walnut and wormwood to detox from parasites. I ran out of it. I have to get more actually, but I was using both of those. I noticed a difference. I actually did.
Yeah, I feel like, thank you, Maria. I feel like what's happened is this is the infiltration now that's in our food and our water and in the air. I just saw something locally. People in another neighborhood, maybe half an hour away from me, saw all this stuff. It's been it's been foggy. Suddenly, it's been foggy the last 4 days, and they've been seeing it looked like snow, but it wasn't snow. And these are regular people that are filming this, going, "This is not normal. What is this?" So somebody suggested that they grab some and go and get it tested, because most likely it's toxins that are being that are airborne right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree. Like I kind of do a different kind of detox. I think I've been kind of on that for a long time. So Maria's right on target, claiming our sovereignty and doing some kind of detox and being really aware of, we have to start making choices about the food that we're eating, what we're drinking. And it's not always viable. Let's say someone out there is traveling for work. So they're, they have to grab something at the airport or whatever. Don't worry about it. Don't fret about it. You can use something like the violet flame as a transmutation. You can say a prayer over whatever you have. You know what I mean? Like you can raise the vibration of whatever you're going to eat. And also as Starseeds and Lightworkers, we're very resilient. We're very resilient. Like even if, let's say you have to, you intake something and then you feel your body's going to tell you. Like if you try and have some fast food now, and then you probably within 24 hours, maybe less than that, you're going to not be feeling good. So you're going to have to alternate to some other kind of drink and food and maybe just hydration for 24 hours to detox it out. So I wasn't using what you were using, but zeolite's fantastic. And I've been using NAC. That's what I've been using as well.
What's that?
It is another very high frequency detox component, and it's great for releasing parasites as well. Yeah, I think that's what they determined is the parasites are so common in all the food, the water, and it also in the potions.
Yeah. Also, there's bentonite clay too. I heard that's supposed to be really good. I haven't got it yet, but I was
Really
supposed.
good. Yeah, it is really good as well. There's a whole bunch of things. I can't remember what NAC stands for, but go and look it up because it as soon as they stop wanting to sell something on Amazon, like when it gets blocked, you know that it's good and it works.
Yeah, there's also my friend Robin told me about DMSO, which is it's either DMSO or DSMO. It's supposed to be for like a heavy metal detox as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff, you know. It's
and I'll tell you, like years ago when I went to my naturopath, he tested me for heavy metals way back then, like 20 years ago. So like people have known we were already being prepared for, we just have to face the facts that the food and the water has been tampered with. But I want to just, not let you all stress about it, that we're so resilient, that we can detox stuff out and we can raise our vibration very quickly. We can turn it around very quickly.
Yeah, one more thing I was going to say about that is we got to watch the supplement companies we use too, because like some people can have like good supplements, but then there are still people out there that like try to rip people off and they give people bad supplements. I mean, I haven't had any like, thanks, Bryson said, but DMSO is dimethyl sulfoxide. That's, yeah. That I guess, but what I was saying is like some of these companies will try to rip people off. They take advantage of, the people wanting to detox, but I haven't really experienced too much of that though,
I haven't. I think that's the thing, like, get referrals of good companies, read reviews. I know there's kind of an influx right now of a lot of the other, wealthy people that are trying to buy up some of the regular name brand products right now. So we're just to be aware of that as well. And we're so sensitive that, let's say if you bought something, you'll notice either right away it's not doing anything for you, or if you'll have a reaction to it. So that's how we're super, super sensitive to that kind of thing right now as well. So yeah, all of those ideas are great. Bentonite clay has been around for years. I did it as a candida detox like 15 years ago. So it's been around for a long time. So it's a very, very good product.
Wow, that's interesting. Oh, you wanted to get into world events too, a couple that were going on.
Yeah. Unless, like, were there any? I don't know if there was any questions about the implants before.
Let me go through. I got to get to the beginning. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me get to. I got to go way up to the beginning of the questions here. This one was from Flix Love. I'll put it up on the screen if I can find it.
That's okay.
Okay. Let me see here. Sorry. Okay. Here it is. I'm not sure what. Let me see. She says, question for Pink Bella. Do some starseeds have blocks to look into their own Akashic records? And then she followed up with that. She said, or what it could be another implant blocking it.
Yes. Yeah. There's quite a few things. Absolutely. For me, as I started to share, I was retrained to access my own Akashic records, and to, in integrity, assist everyone who comes to work with me. And also today is right. Implants, yes, could be a possibility. Definitely. I mean, that's the whole idea, right? Let's not let anyone expand past the 2 strands and then they can't connect with their higher self. I'll give you a little higher self hack, a real easy one. Your heart is your higher self. So you can close your eyes and put your hands on your heart and take some deep breaths, or just keep doing a heart chakra meditation and just ask your heart for messages. And the reason you close your eyes is because when we close our eyes, it kind of shuts down the mental process. But yeah, there can be blocks to the higher self, but I'll tell you, before I removed my JSEALS, I was able to access my higher self. But I did work at it. I worked at it, so that's actually a very positive thing. Just make sure you're all making that time to stay in balance, to meditate, to breathe, to go slower. Nature, if you can get to nature, you will receive information when you're in nature because there's less interference there. If you're living in a city, if you're living where there's a lot of 5G and all sorts of things going on, or you're working in a busy environment, it's going to be harder to declutter the mind. So you're to be patient for that as well. Oh, I have actually one more thing to add about that. I forgot about that. I had written it down. We're elevating from the reptilian brain to the higher consciousness. So the reptilian brain is at the back. So what was really interesting was, so we all have these DNA imprints from the dark ones. And as soon as we accept that, then we're not pointing fingers as well. Like that's how they've had easy access to us. And that's part of what the SEALs are. That's part of what they've done to our DNA with the ancestors as well. So we're elevating from that. We're elevating from always being in our mind or being controlled to go beyond that. And maybe not everybody needs to have the JSEALs removed. You're going to know. Like I knew that I always had pain on my left-hand side and I felt like I was being tracked. So, and it could also have to do with everyone's mission. So if you have a high profile mission, you most likely chose to come into a family with a lot of DNA seals and a lot of blocks. So you could elevate and move past that so you could help others as well. But the light codes that are coming in are dissolving everything, and it's going to become evident to everybody if you have seals and implants that are blocking you from elevating. Yeah. But anyway, the reptilians isn't that interesting that they ended up calling the lower brain the reptilian brain? I thought that was super interesting.
It makes me think that they definitely had something to do with like our evolution or something like that,
Well, I think what happened was when Earth fell and they did all of this DNA and avatar adjusting, we all came in and incarnated to come in and bust that, because they created that avatar for humanity to stay at a lower frequency and to not evolve and to be controlled. So we're all elevating, moving past that. We're like, heck no, that's not why we came in. I totally forgot to look this up, but there was an episode on Star Trek Voyager where there was like a dark reptilian race. I can't remember what they were called, but they took over the ship and they ran like 3 holodeck programs and they just kept putting the crew back in there. And it was all about them controlling them. And I thought that was exactly like what has happened to humanity. We've been like in this matrix game and we've been controlled for so long. But guess what? In that show, the crew elevated and they got out of it. And that's what we're doing. We're elevating. We're thinking outside of the box. And we're like, no, that we didn't come in to just like listen to what they're telling us. We came in to think outside of the box and create a new Earth, like whatever that is. You all have like different missions and you all have amazing information and ideas to help make this a better place for everyone.
Oh, I got a small. So thank you, Allison, for the small this PayPal donation. I appreciate it. We got one here. She said, this is, I'm not, I'm not familiar with this is a different Allison. Anyway, she says, she feels like she has implants in her stomach area. Is that possible? And like, what do you think of that?
I'm just tapping in. I'm just tapping with her herself. Yeah. Let me just see. I'm hearing that there's like one, but there's also some cords and some hooks. So there can be like different things. There can be not just implants. There can be cords and hooks. Pay attention. So the solar plexus, the belly button area, it's like another beacon that will let us know that something's off. So quite often, and it's the counterbalance is the throat chakra, right? So if we elevate our throat chakra, we expand our superpowers because that's the gateway to our third eye and our abilities coming online. But the solar plexus, sometimes what will happen with me is it will literally be like it will go off when I go into a store. Like I will feel like energy trying to like come in and attach itself to me, or then I will ask, what's attached to me? Where is this coming from, kind of thing. So you can be very aware of it, and just know that you can look for like a clearing meditation as well, and just start working on it. Start asking questions. That's another reason why we want to connect with our higher self, because our higher self will give us the information that we need. And if you are not able to connect with your higher self, try and connect with your angels, the archangels. Always just say archangels, Archangel Michael and legions of light. Another, besides the heart, higher self message, you can also do journaling. You can write in your journal and being grateful for everything that's in your life, and then ask a question and then see if anything comes in. And then write it down and just practice with that. You can also ask for messages in your dreams and write it down. I started asking for messages from my higher self, and then I would go do something. I would go for a clarity walk. I would go to the gym. And then suddenly, as I was moving and physically moving my body, I would get this information that would come in. I would get clarity. So physical exercise and being in nature, like moving your body, will lock up this, because this is running the body. So it will lock up this, and then you can bring in higher messages. And your higher self, everyone has a higher self. Everyone's higher self wants to help them at this time. So that's another really positive, like at this time, you have access. It's your sovereign right to work with your higher self.
That's interesting. That's interesting. What I was seeing if there was any other questions here about that. Nothing as far as like the implants go. Did we want to go with the world events?
Sure. Yeah. Just pull a couple of cards and see what's going on. I hope everybody's doing well today. So one of the world events I was mentioning to Rob is there was an incident near Niagara Falls at the border, I don't know, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, where there was an explosion, but they didn't actually close anything. So, and then the news has just moved on, and there's never been any sort of information. So I just kind of wanted to pull some messages from the cards and just see if there's any other information that we know about that. Was that a red flag incident? Was that just to draw attention to something? The interesting thing is it happened at the crossing that's called the Rainbow Bridge. So I thought that was super interesting. The other message I wanted to share with you all, because Rob and I talked about this, I think, a couple of shows ago. Niagara Falls is a very powerful vortex. It's got incredible energy. So anyway, let me just pull some cards and ask if we need to know anything else about that. Okay, I got the Sun card. Oh, that's interesting. So I got the Sun, which is one of the really positive cards. I'll just show the other one. We got the what is that? Sorry, my calculation. The 8 of Pentacles and the Death card. Now that's interesting, because apparently 2 people did transition with what went on, and it was about money. It was about something happened. So I didn't go deeper into who the people were or why it happened on that day. I didn't look into it. I know when a lot of these events happen now, there's a lot of, what is it called with the numbers, where people do all the calculations of certain things. So it was that day that it happened, it was important. There were a lot of messages for the truther community, but it was about money. So there actually could have been something that was going on in the background to do with the financial industry that day, that we were all distracted by this other event. But whatever it was, whatever happened, we got the Sun card, which is one of the most positive cards on the deck. So it's fine. It didn't distract a lot of people. As a matter of fact, the reason I knew about it right away is because somebody posted something in Telegram. So, if people did actually pass away, then rest in peace to them as well. But it just, to me, it seemed interesting that it happened at the border, but nothing was closed.
Yeah, that's weird. It makes me think something else was going on there. Like,
Exactly.
I don't know what.
Yeah, and there could have even been something that they moved through the border. Well, that was happening. Like everybody was distracted over with what was going on in there. There could have been something else happening there too. So
Yeah, like a lot of times that can be like drug traffickers or something like that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it could be. I'm trying to think. Yeah, like,
So
well, who
nothing,
knows
nothing on our
nowadays?
side. Like nothing came in our media on our side about it at all. There was a lot of chit chatter in New York because it was on that side. But again, you and I both know if there's something really serious, they'll close the border. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Nowadays, it's like it's not just drugs. It's like the human trafficking too. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
they're doing that as well. It's like it's. I mean, I know. Yeah, I was gonna say I know someone's mom. Like, what he's in the chat. I don't know if he wants me to tell. He said his mom like works with like human trafficking victims. Like, and he said
Yeah.
it's like it's more real than you could even imagine. Like,
It's huge. It's one of the reasons why many of us incarnated, because we're to bring that to the light. We're to bring that to the rest of humanity that they understand that. And I have souls in my reality who aren't quite where we're all at, but they're aware that that's going on. Like they know about that. They actually some souls work in the school industry and they've all been briefed about that industry. So but I think then that might help us move into the next one. It's like the homeless. It's like we all know how painful it is to see thousands of people on the street, but yet nobody's really doing anything about it except for the regular people in humanity. So
yeah,
why is that, right? I just before we move on to that, I pulled another card. I got the 10 of Cups, which is a very high vibrational card. So the message I'm getting is whatever was to transpire through that incident was nipped in the bud. So it wasn't successful with whatever they were planning on doing. That's why we
that's
got the
cool.
sun card. Yeah, that's why we got the sun card as well. That's why there was no closures as well. So it's all good.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you want to do a couple personal? There was a couple people who had personal questions. I figured I would wait till. Let me see here.
do you want
Uh,
while you're doing that? Should I do just pull about the homeless in San Francisco?
yeah, we could.
Well, I'll just shuffle the cards. I'll just share with everyone. So apparently, there were some officials that came into San Francisco, and suddenly all the homeless people were no longer there. Like it was cleaned up within about 48 hours. And apparently, like to some people, it just vanished overnight. Like there was nothing. There was no announcements, nothing. So I just wanted to pull a couple of cards on that because I wanted to sort of see if there was some other reason. But
You know
I
what? I
shared with Rob. Joe Rogan actually had that on his podcast. That
wow.
he was just blown away by how serious it had become in San Francisco. Like it was heartbreaking, and that a lot of the residents there have been, pleading, please help clean this up. Like it was that stores have left, businesses have closed down, and then suddenly it just got cleaned up. So
Makes me
well,
wonder what they did. It's almost like how those kids go missing in Hawaii. You know?
yes, yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. The reason I'm going, oh my goodness, because we got like the homeless card, we got the 5 of Pentacles. Like these are the people that are left out in the cold.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we got the Hanged Man, which is like the waiting room. So, but they move very quickly. You've got the 8 of Wands. And why was that? Why did they do that? So they were waiting for something to move them. There was a 2 of Cups. There was an offer, so it had to do with the officials coming in, and there was an offer, and they needed to make it look. So I feel like there's going to be an influx of financial investment in that area. I heard offshore investment, or maybe it's already happened, and they just came to look at it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm not. I don't. I don't
No,
know.
well, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see, right? This is why the cards are so interesting because they'll just I'll ask a question and they'll bring in different messages. Yeah. So it wasn't just because we all know any of the big cities, even here, it's an issue everywhere. It's heartbreaking. I lived
It
down in an
is.
area where there were like thousands of homeless. It was heartbreaking and it looked like it just was getting worse and worse. So the fact that they were able to come in and kind of clean it up so quickly. And one individual said there was not one video, not one person got any video of what had happened. So,
Wow.
which is bizarre. So to me, like there was a plan. There was a plan, and right away, because I'm thinking the individuals that came in were from another country, so they probably came in for like an investment purpose, and that's why they cleaned it up. Yeah.
Wow.
Didn't that happen in
That's-
New York like a million years ago? Wasn't there? Didn't that happen like when they cleaned up Manhattan?
I think so.
Yeah.
Something strange happened. You know, it's
Yeah, where suddenly there was just nobody there. They just moved everybody out.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't really have an input on it. I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, there might be
Nothing's like
there might be somebody here who wants to help the homeless, who has ideas to help the homeless. Like that might be a Starseed Lightworker mission that a bunch of you have been thinking about and have ideas about, because we can obviously see that the official channels aren't going to do it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's just what I was thinking. Anyway, were there some readings, Rob? I just wanted to
Yeah, there was we'll get to there was a couple. I know Dawn and the Andromeda requested one, so I'll just find their question. It's hard. And you guys can either super chat, or if you want, you can PayPal if you want to get your question read immediately or whatever, or if you want to support the channel. But let me find here this, because it's easier for me to find the questions too. But here we go. This is from the Andromeda, and he says, "Hi, Aloha. I would love a reading from you. My question is, why do I have some of the same body as past lives incarnations?" And then he said, "I would like a general reading though too."
Oh, that's interesting. Andromeda, how do you know you have the same body as past life incarnations? Have you been shown that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I personally think the Andromedan has beacons. And that's why he's so connected to the Andromedan system, and why he even has so much information as well. Oh, before I get to your reading, Andromeda, because there was another message that came in. You know how we're elevating and we're moving into every gateway. Every day we have an opportunity to activate our DNA, move into a higher level of the crystalline grids, remove ourselves from the matrix. They gave me the message this morning that this is also our way home. This is also our way out of the matrix and our way home. And the best way as well to get move up multiple levels is to be in service and be on mission. And being in service, so let's say some souls out there are saying, "Oh, I can't be on mission because I don't have any money, la, la, la." You can do simple things like you can help a senior in your building. You can go out and pick up garbage. You can, you know what I mean? Like there's really simple things. You can go and help with animals and walk dogs or something. Like there's some thing that you can do to help elevate the frequency, and you're being of service to humanity. So I just wanted to share that. And I think that I know definitely Andromedan, you have beacons. That's why you're so connected and know so much about the Andromedan system. Maybe you've had the same body because to help you in this now moment, right? To help you remember as well. So, okay. You're right now, Andromedan, you're also getting you're supposed to retreat and recharge right now. So your mission for yourself through the holidays is to remember to recharge. And oh, this is interesting. It also says training in progress. So I feel like you're training in your sleep. This is I had an amazing meeting kind of dream sequence last night. So if you guys are super tired right now, make sure that you're sleeping, because you'll have these memories come in of meetings. So I had a meeting last night with a bunch of starseeds. And I was shown this morning what was going on. So that's part of you for Andromeda. You're supposed to rest and recharge. You'll get some messages while you're sleeping. Order of Melchizedek. So you've been connected to the Order of Melchizedek through lifetimes as well. You're embraced by the light. Your mission is uncovering. You're not to give up. It says don't give up. Okay, which is perfect. That's a great message for everybody. And then the final message. Oh, you got the Orion activation. So part of what I don't know. I can't remember if this came in before. This is true for me. Apparently, I escaped the Orion system and I arrived here. The Orion system is where Star Wars, that's the documentary, the first Star Wars, that was the Orion system. So apparently That's where I came from as well. So there's a bunch of us that detoured to get back to Earth, knowing the best way to get home was to come to Earth.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? So you got that as too. So
It is.
Andromeda and you are a supernova, and you're going through a renewal and you're being rebirthed by light. I love that.
That's amazing. We have two more, but there's just the small super chats. I appreciate it, guys. This one's from Selena Ingalls. She says, "Any messages from me?"
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, I use the violet flame to transmute from one reading to another. It's a faster way.
What do you mean by that? Like, how do you?
So
Can you talk about-
I even invoked the violet flame for all of us for this session and made sure that we were on a
Yeah.
higher timeline and frequency so that we just have a good show. Like there's no interference, right? So I just asked the violet flame to transmute, like from the last reading, kind of hang up the call with the Andromedan and then bring in messages for Selena. So,
I like that.
yeah. We kind of have to think on our feet and do things like we're still in this world where everything's moving quickly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's moving so quickly. It's insane. It's kind of scary in a way. Like it just scares me because I'm 43 years old and I feel like, I'd like to start like living my life more. I'd like to start like getting out there and experiencing some things. I dedicate so much time to podcasting. Like, and it was nice. I had someone donate money so I could go meet my friend up in Canada, which I'm going to do.
We're going to do something at Niagara Falls.
Yeah, I'm going to get my passport tomorrow. I have an appointment to get my passport, and then I'm going to go meet my friend in Canada, and we'll see what happens,
Yeah. So anyway, that's fantastic. And I think there's going to be more balance for all of us, Rob, like me too. Like those of us that have been on our mission, we work hard. Like we all might think that it looks easy, but we all work really, really hard. I was bleary-eyed last night uploading videos on Rumble. So there's just some times where we have these creative surges where we have to get things done. But what I wanted to share is like the more of us that are on mission, the more balanced it's going to be for those of us that have been on mission. And that's why it's been so busy for all of us, because you've been really focused on bringing information to a lot of people. And I too, I've been helping on soul mission since 2018. So, okay. Overall for Selena, you've got the divine matrix. So you are elevating and moving, like what I've been sharing today. You've been moving out of the matrix. You're moving towards the divine matrix. You are to create a sacred space if you haven't done that at home, or find some way of bringing sacredness into your daily life to slow things down. So we have these messages coming out from the matrix every day saying you don't have time to relax. You don't have time to go to nature. And we have to bust that and say, forget it. I'm going to go do that. And then guess what? That elevates us to a higher frequency. And we can manifest when we're in nature, and then we can come back around a different timeline. I can't remember, but if this came in for you before, Selena, but you've got a deep connection to Atlantis. You have a lot of abilities that will start to come online. You're going through a spiritual acceleration. This is progress on technology. You're to be sensitive about spending a lot of time on technology, and that AI message that I was sharing earlier. We're to use our tools for positive things and then unplug from it. Okay. You're very sensitive to that. And you're going through a light body activation. I am present. So you're going through an acceleration right now to connect more with your higher self and your guides. Hopefully
I hope that resonates with you, Selena. That was pretty interesting. I was sorry. I was looking for new questions here.
That's okay.
And this one's, we have one more. This is from Shiba Winu. She says, "Hi again. Would love to know if I have any guides, any messages."
Perfect, Shiba. I'll just, again, hanging up from Selena. And see what wants to come in for you. Absolutely, you have guides. We all have guides. What was the easier guides that I worked with in the beginning? It's so interesting. Was the archangels. Archangel Michael was the easiest one, and there's a lot of meditation on YouTube, so you can try that. And I always say the legions of light, like Archangel Michael and the legions of light, because of course the other team infiltrated our matrix and they came in with false guides. But guess what? They're still the real guides. They're just on another timeline and frequency. So if we say the right words, it illuminates us as well, right, to a timeline of frequency. So that was just a message I wanted to share with you. They were the easier guides for me to connect with even before my higher self. Okay. You're also very connected to the Pleiadians. And that's super interesting too, because the Pleiadians were a team that I worked with before the Archangels. I had no idea what I was doing, but the Pleiadians are very connected to focusing and supporting our evolution here on Earth. They, of course, there's going to be different fractions of all the groups. So again, we say Pleiadian team of light. You can check into that. When I really dove deep into the Pleiadians, there's a great there's an audiobook on YouTube actually by Barbara Manciniak called Bringers of the Now. Is that right? Bringers of the Dawn. Bringers of the Dawn. So she channeled that in at Mount Shasta way back in 1988. And that was a deep message, a soul mission message for all starseeds. So that's great. That's what they wanted me to share about today. That's free for everyone. You can all go listen to it. It'll make you feel like I'm not here on my own. We're all here together. And it's just coming together, harmony in the heavens, and resolution is coming for you. So if there's something that you want to change in your reality, to do that. And what was the bottom of the deck? Spend time in nature, by water if you can. That's going to help your throat chakra and allow you to hear and get your messages more clearly. You're also going through a soul star activation that's connected to our Akashic records. Oh, when somebody asked about the Akashic records, if our physical chakras are not aligned, if we're not grounded and in our heart, we can't open up the next level of chakras, and that's our connection to our Akashic records. Okay, so soul star activation. Right now, you are fulfilling soul contracts, and you're going through a period of remembering who you are. And I had another message, but I can't remember. It's gone.
There was a message for you from I was looking for it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking for this message for her. It was wait, let me find it. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm trying to remember there was something else that was going to come in for all of us, but I can't remember. Was it two Pleiadians? The Pleiadians are very healing. They're very connected to the blue light, the blue frequency, for everyone who resonates with being a Blu-ray or a starseed. And that, the Bringers of the Dawn audiobook. So Barbara Manciniak, I don't really resonate with all the information she brings in now, but that was a very pure download from the Pleiadians that was in book form for the longest time. There's a book out there too, but it's very activating. It helps us all remember who we are. And I would listen to it often if I got discouraged about my mission, because it was basically the Pleiadians letting us know about this time now, letting us know that we're all here on mission, that we're all here together, that we are being supported. They were involved. Some of them were involved in the changing of our genetics, and their role now by Prime Source Creator is to help all of us with the evolution of the planet and to support us on our mission. So all of the fractions have been unified. And
this woman wants to send you a donation directly. I figured I would pull this one up. This is from Emma. She says, would love a card to know the outcome of current job situation. Will happily send payment to your Weebly, Tracy.
Yeah, thank you, sweetie. Welcome, everybody, for sure. Current job, PR situation. Oh, yeah. Okay, so first off, before I even pull the cards for you, MA, as a starseed, our frequency and our light is so bright, it will create friction in a workplace. So that's part of it. So you can work with your angels and with the violet flame and ask that your frequency be palatable for your work scenario. So you're not creating friction just with your vibration. But the other thing is, and I'll pull some cards, if something is falling apart, it's because something better is coming. If something is falling apart, it often will be because the universe is manifesting a better scenario for you as well, just to let you know that. Okay. You're to make sure that you're resting. You also you're going through a recharging process right now. So you're to make sure that even with all this going on, retreat and recharge and trust the process of what's unfolding. And I'm hearing, let's say worst case scenario. I've gone through it all. I've gone through like having a contract going in the next day and it's been gone. And I didn't have this information that I have now. I didn't realize that my light was causing such friction for the people that I was working with. So adjusting that will help. Saying prayers will help. But start to think about, if it's not a perfect scenario, you're being shown the truth about everybody that you're working with. So if it's not a perfect scenario, think about, what would you like? What would be a better scenario? Okay.
I hope that resonates with you. Bryson brought something to my attention. I guess I never usually announce stuff, but I guess I hit 15,000 subscribers.
Yay!
I didn't even realize it. I was like, thank you, Bryson, for pointing that out. That's a good sign. You know, I'll watch, they'll probably take my channel down tomorrow or something like that.
No, we don't say that. We don't say that, for sure. Yeah, that's great. Just a quick note. I didn't write this down for us. I just did a little video last night. I'm probably going to release it tomorrow. If any of you out there are wishing to relocate, find a new home, travel, even what Em brought up is good. Maybe you're being guided to move to another job. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Em, but let's just say. So what's happening is there's a massive grid relocation program happening for all of us Starseeds and Lightworkers, is to get everybody in the right location for 2024. And I was given last night, it's starting from now through the spring. And it's just, and when Em brought up that question, I thought, it's not just about our homes. It's not just about us traveling. It's also about where we're going to work every day, because we're being moved to another location, and our energy is literally lighting up the grid and recalibrating the grid in that area. So I'm glad that she asked that question and that you picked that, because that was just a reminder.
Is that why a lot of us starseeds are spread out in different places?
Yeah. Yes. And everyone, there's a lot of people out there who are wishing to manifest a new home, and they've lost hope. Like they feel stuck where they are. This is the time when you want to say to the universe and your guides, it's time, I want to go. But think clearly about where you want to go and what you wish to manifest, and just know that you're being supported right now. Okay.
Yeah, this is our last. I say this will be the last one if we can do this one. This is Jamie Angel Wings. She just wants to know, does she have any blocks or beacons? And thank you for being a member for 1 month, Jamie. She says, does she have any blocks or beacons? If so, to who, and anything else she might need to know?
Let me just see.
Definitely. By the way, I can tell you're getting a psychic reading when you're looking over your shoulder, because everybody that's psychic, when they get psychic information, they look over their shoulder. I've noticed that, that happens a lot of times with psychics. Like it's interesting. Like it's like you're communicating with the other side or something. I love it.
Angel Wings, you have beacons with Andromeda. So those are positive. So that's the same with me as well, as we're all connected to just like Andromeda, the Andromedan is. I'm hearing that there are some seals. I don't know if you've had a JSEALS removal, but that might be on your list to do at some point. And you know that you're ready for it. It's fine. To me, the reason I kind of got on that bandwagon was, I was like, and I got to pull some cards. I was just like, I'm all over them controlling me, or tagging me, or ruining my time at a coffee shop. That's not bringing me joy. That's not bringing me joy. So I got to just pull some cards for you. Oh, wow. Okay. So besides Andromeda, you also got the Sirius star system. So they also work really, really parallel with the Palladians, but a lot of starseeds down here are Sirian. And that is very strong-willed, very powerful, very you're to claim your sovereignty and be in your power. It just says, yes, proceed, be seen, and push through. Okay. I feel like the reason why a lot of us are on board with the removal of these tags and these implants, we've been on the run for thousands of years. Some of us have been tracked out in the universe as well. So we've got there's this deep kind of wounded fear about being found, being seen, and being caught. We don't have to fear that anymore. We've got tools to assist us, and we're fully supported to be down here, but we're to adjust our frequency. The other day I was in Walmart and I could feel the AI energy kind of surrounding me. So I asked to be cloaked and to be adjusted, and it happened like that. Okay. The December is a big month for you, Angel Wings. You got it's a powerful manifestation time for you, both the 12/12 and the solstice gateways. And I love this Holy Grail. All right. You're to go within, find your sacredness, and you are what you seek. Beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, this was amazing. I thought these great everything went. This was a great show today. Really informative. I thought it was like really really good. Uh,
Oh, I just
Is there?
thought so much was coming in, and so many people were asking about seals last time. So we can do we can talk more about that next time too if people have more questions for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think we definitely need to. But do you want to tell everybody where they can find you? And thank you so much for doing this. I always enjoy our shows. It's really fun.
I enjoy them as well. It's been great. Thanks for having me. I think my website, alohapinkbella.weebly.com. Email is the best way to get a hold of me. And yeah, if you guys want to follow me on YouTube and Telegram and Rumble, that would be great. I put deeper information out on Rumble that is more sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd love it. Whoever would like to contact me and work with me, I would love that.
That's awesome. And I have one more show tonight, guys. I'm going to be coming on with Nate from Voices of Orion and Dean. I'm not sure what we're doing yet. It's some Tesla. It's something he has some Tesla machine that Tesla used to have. So it should be an interesting show for sure. I'll put you guys will get a notification. And thank you, Pink Bella. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. And have a good night, everybody.